Stand by in 20.
Delete the reintro or keep it.
Delete. In 10. Dryer, firefighter.
Good morning, 610 KONA. It's the Tri-Cities Morning News. It is 8:44. I'm AJ Brewster. That's Michael McDonald. Thanks for joining us on your election day.
And in studio with us is Paul Lindberg, Tri-Citian with Dryer on Fire. And it's got a new name now. It's Dryer Firefighter. And Paul, we wanted to first kind of cover that. You had a name change.
That's right. I decided to go independent, so needed to rebrand then and come up with something on my own and wanted to go in a kind of a more positive direction. I had some feedback from customers and some family that said, dryer on fire, isn't that what we want to avoid?
Right.
So that was always kind of in the back of my mind too. So I said, hey, we're going to change the name when we go this new direction. We're going to be more positive. We're going to be Dryer Firefighters. We're going to be preventing fires in your dryer before they even start.
And AJ's actually had the service at his home.
Yep.
And just tell us what you found there.
Well, I found some lint in your vent, AJ. I don't know. I mean, was that a shock to you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad, considering we hadn't cleaned it since we bought the house.
So, AJ, I need to ask you, do you feel like the dryer maybe is more efficient, is working better now that it has a clear path?
It's definitely working better now. We have a husky, which he commented on, right? So you have to be very cautious because that hair gets everywhere and really sticks to everything. But over 15, 20 years of living in the house, it picked up a lot of dirt, dust, debris, everything in there. And he came and cleaned it out. And he's got this handy dandy camera so we can show you as he's doing it and then show you again as it's clean, right? Do another pass and really show you exactly how clean and the difference that it made.
All right. So we're with Paul Lindberg with Dryer Firefighter on 610 KONA. Why did you start this type of service here locally in Tri-Cities?
Well, it's hard to explain. Some people can probably relate to this. I'm very risk averse just by nature. So I'm always trying to be safe with things and maintaining things, to try and avoid, things that could be costly or catastrophes around the house. So, fire safety is something I think everybody should be conscious of. And, when I learned about the fact that, hey, there's a potential fire hazard in my laundry room that's at any time could really become a problem, could cause a lot of damage or worse, loss of life, which unfortunately we hear those stories. That was something that I really wanted to get into. So it really makes me feel good about the service I provide. That if I can just prevent one laundry room fire, then I think I've done my job. I just saw one about 2 weeks ago. I opened up the dryer, doing a dryer cavity cleaning, which we also do. Disassemble the dryer and clean it all out, top to bottom. And the lint inside was all black. It had all been scorched. It had all been burned. So luckily, the fire didn't leave the cavity of the dryer and cause
they
more
almost
damage.
Had one.
But there was a fire inside the dryer at one point. And so that one, luckily, we got that out of the house. They got a new dryer because that thing needed to go to the dump. And actually, it's in my garage right now. So the next trade show I'm at, you'll probably see it on the floor next to my booth. So you can see, here's what we avoid.
A cross-section of what could have been disaster.
Precisely.
Yeah. Paul Lindberg with us with Dryer Firefighter on 610 KONA.
For me, it was the risk of what could happen to my family or my house and everything that is a part of everything I own versus the cost to just have them come out and do it. I mean, a couple $100 at the very most. And just the peace of mind and not knowing that you're not going to have that risk, is so much worth it, considering it's so cheap to really get it done versus the cost of what you could lose.
Right. Peace of mind. That's what I hear from most of my customers. They say, I didn't think it was going to be too bad. I've had it done in the past or whatever, but they really want to achieve that peace of mind, knowing that the vent and the dryer is completely cleaned out. They've mitigated that risk in their home. And that's one thing that they can kind of check the box, in their mind and say, okay, that has been, taken care of. And that's important.
And you recommend that every year, don't you?
Well, it depends on who you talk to. I mean, the National Fire Protection Agency says to do it every year. Your dryer owner's manual says to get the vent cleaned out every year. Some publications will say every 3 to 6 months. It really comes down to three things, and that is, how long is the vent? Okay, if it's a shorter one, obviously there's not going to be as much buildup. If there's a lot of turns in your vent, that slows the air down. That's going to cause more buildup. And then just overall dryer usage. How often are you using it? Are you doing a lot of towels? Do you have a lot of kids in sports? And so these things are
Huskies
causing the pets, causing the dryer to be used a lot more. And so those three factors kind of combine, to kind of tell you how often you should do it. Anywhere from 1 to 5 years, probably, depending on those factors.
Was mine pretty normal, or was it long?
I would say yours was a little bit longer than average. I don't remember exactly what it was, probably 20, 25 feet. I'd say the average I see is about 15 to 20 feet, but it's not unusual to find 30 plus feet. And those ones are, really there's a lot of buildup in those. So I would say the longer it is, the more often you should definitely at least have it checked. And I think that's what separates me from a lot of, I guess organizations that are cleaning dryer vents out there, is I use a wireless camera. So I do a pre-cleaning and a post-cleaning inspection, verify that all the debris has been removed. Therefore, that peace of mind, we can visually verify that there is no debris left in that vent.
Amazing. Our vent may be 3 feet.
Really?
Yeah, it's right there. It's right on the, it's on an exterior wall.
You could almost clean that with your arm.
There's just not much to it. But some actually go up out of the roof.
Yeah, that's not uncommon at all.
Okay.
Newer construction, you're going to see a lot more roof vents. And I, just from what I know, they're typically going to be straighter. There's not going to be as many turns. They kind of go straight up. The angle maybe a little bit to for the pitch of the roof.
But we all know what gravity does.
That's right. It is fighting against gravity. But the other thing is that they're usually a little bit shorter, because they're usually just going through one floor and then, through the attic, and straighter, so less turns. So that's helpful.
All right. So for people that want to get more information about Dryer Firefighter, where do we go?
Well, DryerFirefighters.com is the new website. You can book online there. You'll see the book online button. You can find us on Google and Nextdoor, on Facebook, or you can just give me a call directly. You can call or text my phone number, 509-205-7468, and we'll get you set up.
Perfect. Paul Lindberg, Dryer Firefighters, thank you so much for being with us on 610 KONA.
Thank you.
Great job.
So now I'm going to get a call from Mike, and he's going to be like, AJ, you got to come over. My arm's stuck in my dryer vent. Trying to clean it out myself.
I could use I don't need to do it.
You're one of the guys that go down to Home Depot and get the brush.
Yeah,
for
I could
15 bucks and just do it yourself.
I could use the shop vac.
Yeah.
I could reach it with that. It's not even 2 feet.
Yep.